What is up, guys? Plant Commander here, and welcome back to more Let's Play Undertale. In the last episode, we entered the True Lab, figured out a lot of Alphys' work, discovered some strange videotapes, and put some gens into the wall that can start to activate a door. We also fought a really terrifying amalgamated doggo. Yeah, so that, a lot happened last episode, so if you didn't watch that one, and you're watching this one, first of all, why are you doing that? Second of all, you're probably going to be really lost, so go back and watch that. This time, we're going to be going back into that foggy room and seeing what else we can do in the True Lab. So let's go right back into here. Entry number 19. The families keep calling me to ask when everyone is coming home. What am I supposed to say? I don't even answer the phone anymore. Alright, empty fridge. And wait, what? What does it say? Samples of some kind. That one moved. Asgore left 5 messages today. 4 about everyone being angry. 1 about this cute teacup he found that looks like me. Thanks, Asgore. That's odd. I spend all my time at the garbage dump now. It's my element. Samples. And it's empty. That one's not a fridge. That one's a nightmare. It looks kind of like Snowdrake. Tears run down your face. What? You didn't do that? Snowy. What? Why? Wow. This is really depressing. Your expression starts to shift. It's starting to remember. That seemed to be the right thing to do. A bad pun, it changes more. It keeps going. This appears to be working. It's completely calmed down. Well, there's the last gem. And there's the green slot. Well, only one more to go. And why is that one moving? I don't remember where the blue slot is. Maybe? Actually, wait, I think I do know where it is, actually. I think it's in the main room with all the beds, and then I think it's, like, down and to the right or something. I think? I don't know. I'll figure it out. Where the hell is the blue key slot? I believe it's... Is it not down that way? Did I go this way yet? I don't think I went this way yet. Entry number 7. We'll need a vessel to wield the monster souls when the time comes. After all, a monster cannot absorb the souls of other monsters. Just as a human soul cannot absorb a human soul. Then, there's... What about something that's neither monster nor human? Interesting. Experiments on the vessel are a failure. It doesn't seem to be any different from the control cases. Whatever. They're a hassle to work with anyway. The seeds just stick to you and won't let go. It's more and more unnerving the more you read into it. What is that? Comma! I guess I'll mystify you? It recognizes it as more to learn from this world. What the hell? What? What? I am so confused. I guess I'll pick on it? It seemed effective. Okay, it's trying to kill me now. It's trying to kill me. It's assaulting me with butterflies. Death by butterfly is not the way I want to go out. Kneel and pray for safety. Seems to remember something. Reaper bird. So, I guess that's its name. It's throwing its decapitated heads at me. Also, that sprite work is really good. Well, that's definitely unsettling. There it is. Alright, only thing left to do now is go through that main door. Let's do it. And here we are. Let's do this. Seems like another elevator has lost its power. So we can't use that one either. The monitors are now turned off. There's no more to read. It seems like this controls the elevator's power. Turn it on. I don't want to die today. Please don't. Please don't. No. No. Stop it. Hey, stop. I got you guys some food, okay? Sorry about that. They get kind of sassy when they don't get fed on time. Anyway, the power went out, and I've been trying to turn it back on, but it seems like you were one step ahead of me. This was probably just a big inconvenience for you, but I appreciate that you came back here to back me up. As I said, I was afraid I might not come back, but that's not because of these guys or anything. I was just worried I would be too afraid to tell the truth. That I might run away or do something cowardly. I suppose I owe you an explanation. As you probably know, Asgore asked me to study the nature of souls. During my research, I isolated a power I call determination. I injected it into dying monsters so that their souls would last after death. But the experiment failed. You see, unlike humans, monsters' bodies don't have enough physical matter to take those concentrations of determination. Their bodies started to melt, and I lost what physicality they had. Pretty soon, all of the test subjects had melted together into those. Seeing them like this, I knew I couldn't tell their families about it. I couldn't let anyone know about it. No matter how much everyone was asking me, and I was too afraid to do any more work knowing everything I'd done so far had been such a horrific failure. But now I've changed my mind about all this. I'm going to tell everyone what I've done. It's going to be hard. Being honest, believing in myself. I'm sure there will be times where I'll struggle. I'm sure there will be times where I screw up again. But knowing deep down that I have friends to fall back on, I know it'll be a lot easier to stand on my own. Thank you. Come on, guys. It's time for everyone to go home. So Alphys has finally come to terms with her experiments. She's finally admitted all of the things that she's been working on. And it seems like she's out to make things right. It's a voice you've never heard before. Plant, are you there? It's been a long time, hasn't it? But you've done well. Thanks to you, everything has fallen into place. Plant, see you soon. And that's it. We have sealed our fate. These vines on the door mean it is now impossible to go back. There is no more to be done in the world of the underground. We can't go back to where we've been. We have sealed our fate. We are ready for the true pacifist ending. We have completed all of the requirements for the true pacifist ending, and we're ready to get started. Now, I'm going to take the long way through here. The main reason I want to do this is that so I can reflect a little bit on our journey. I just want to talk about how I feel about this game. For those of you who don't know, Toby Fox started out as a developer of Earthbound ROM hacks. He was part of a forum online known as Starman.net. Starman.net is a community for fans of the Earthbound and Mother series, and it's a place where a lot of friendships grew in the late 90s, early 2000s, and even today. It's a website that I'm still part of. Toby Fox originally started making Earthbound ROM hacks to get himself into the realm of game making. Then he started the Kickstarter for Undertale, and it was a massive success. The game quickly took off. And then when it came time to actually release it, it took off even further. At that point, Undertale has earned a reputation, a massive reputation. And it's one that it's kind of hard not to know about if you spend any time on the internet in late 2015. So, as is the fate with a lot of indie games that tend to have this kind of burst of attention and just popularity for, I don't want to say for no reason, because then it makes it sound like the game doesn't deserve it, but it does. As things tend to happen with stuff like that, the fan base of Undertale quickly got a negative reputation for being kind of overbearing. I will agree to this. I will wholeheartedly agree with the fact that a lot of the Undertale fan base does seem to be kind of overbearing. I'm not calling out anyone in particular. That is not my intention. I don't mean to berate anybody who enjoys this game. I don't mean to talk down at anybody who is part of that fan base. All I'm saying is that fan base does have its reputation for a reason. That being said, having created an Undertale countdown and a few remixes of Undertale music, I have seen both the good and bad sides of this fan base. Now, the question that remains is, does that impact my love for the game? And if you know me, you know that my answer to that would be a resounding no without hesitation. This is the end of our journey. That's pretty much all they had to cover until we get to the actual ending of the True Pacifist route. This will be my last chance to really talk about anything until we get to the end credits. And I want to take this as an opportunity to let you guys know how I really feel about Undertale. I'm just going to go wander around the castle for a little while to give you guys something a little bit more to look at while I talk about this, because there's a good bit that I want to say. I honestly believe that Undertale is a genuine work of art, and I do believe that it deserves the reputation it has. I don't think the fan base deserves as bad of a rap as it gets, however. Does it have its bad parts? Yes, but every fan base does. It may be the bad parts of the fan base that stick out to some people more, but not to me. What I see in the Undertale fan base is a group of people who are very passionate about a game that deserves people being passionate about. Toby Fox put his heart and soul into this game, no pun intended. But he really did. It really does capture the feel of the Earthbound and Mother series. As someone who's a huge fan of both Earthbound and Mother 3 and is currently playing through Mother 1, that series has a lot of charm that Undertale does carry over. You can tell that this was made by a fan of the Earthbound series. And it shows. That's part of the reason I like this game so much. Because not only did it spawn out of the community of a series that I'm absolutely in love with, but it seems to capture a very similar feeling to it. And that's something that very, very few games are able to replicate. Earthbound and Mother 3 both hold a very special place in my heart. They're both extremely memorable games to me, and they're both some of my favorite games of all time. And because of that, I feel like nothing could ever really compare to them. The only exception to this is Undertale. While none of those three games are my favorite game of all time by any means, I will definitely say that they are all easily on my top 20, if not my top 10. They're definitely high on my list. Earthbound, Mother 3, and Undertale. I do believe that they're all fantastic games, and I do believe that they all deserve to be played. And despite its reputation, despite what you might think of it, I do think Undertale should be included. I do think people deserve to play this game. So if at any point you held back from playing Undertale because of the reputation of its fan base, because of the reputation of the popularity that it had, because maybe you're just one of those people who just hates things because they're popular and you want to be more obscure. Maybe you're that person. I want to try to convince you not to be that person. I want to try to convince you that despite everything you might have heard about it, if you haven't given Undertale a full, genuine chance, I strongly urge you to do so. And I'm not guaranteeing that you're going to like it. It's not a game for everyone. It's like that for every game. Not every game is for everybody. It's just the way it is with video games. But I do recommend people at least give this one a chance. It's not very expensive, it's quite short, and I do think it's a worthwhile experience whether you enjoy it or not. And I do know people who don't really like this game. I know people who have given it a very fair chance, and I know people who simply didn't like it. And that's perfectly fine. I get it. There are some games that people love that I just didn't really like. I completely understand if it just isn't your kind of game. But please, I strongly encourage everyone watching this that if you haven't at least given this game a full, fair chance, despite everything you've heard about it, or despite everything you haven't heard, maybe you haven't ever heard of Undertale until you've seen this Let's Play. I highly doubt that's the case, but who knows? It could happen. But whatever the case, if you haven't given this game a very fair chance, I strongly recommend that you do so. It's one of my favorite games of all time. It's one of the only indie games that I've ever wanted to bring to the channel immediately upon playing it. It's one of the only games I've ever played where I felt like it deserves all of the massive attention it gets. There are a lot of games out there that I feel are severely overhyped. And a lot of them are games that I still love. This happens to be one of them. Another example is Ocarina of Time. I grew up with that game, and I absolutely adore it. Do I think it's perfect? No. But I do think it's a fantastic game that deserves its reputation. That being said, I do believe that it is severely overhyped. And I do feel like Undertale suffers from the same problem. It's overhyped. Please don't go into Undertale expecting... I don't want to say go in expecting a masterpiece, because in my opinion, it is a masterpiece. But that's just my opinion. It's not going to be like that for everyone, and that's just a fact. It's not going to be that way for every single person. I do believe that it's a work of art. I do believe that it's worth being played. But please, give it a chance before you make that call for yourself. That's pretty much all I got to say. Let's go ahead and do this. We got an empty throne room here. The barrier is just up ahead. We can go to meet Asgore, and therefore finish the pacifist route of Undertale. In the next episode, we will go through the barrier. We will encounter Asgore for the second and true time. This is the one where everything counts. We haven't killed anyone. We've never gained a level. We've never gained execution points. This is the end of our journey. Thank you so much for watching. This has been the Plant Commander. And if you haven't played Undertale yet, please give it a chance before watching this finale, because it's one of my favorite endings in video game history, and I believe it should be experienced for yourself. See you guys next time.